Have you accounted for that? And they said, yes, we've increased our budget. Normally we do like a 15% expectation in terms of cost overrun, but we've increased it from 15% to 20%, and we can still make the numbers work. And the bank replied back to them, does it still work at 25%? Because that's how I want to see the analysis run on this one before I'm willing to give a loan. Risk mitigation. So what if something that has never happened before happens during your project, right? We talked about inflation, right? We haven't seen really much inflation, since like, I don't know, the 90. I don't even know if we had much even then. We've done a really good job of managing it, keeping it between 2 and 3%, right? It's just been this one little hiccup that we had, and we had some hiccups in the 70s as well. But the inflation, interest rate risk, economic downturns, war, right? Are we seeing some of that right now? Technology shifts, legislative changes, and real stuff. We're deporting the people that should be working on our projects in some cases, are we not? Listen, I'm all for closed borders, but I want to bring in as many people into this country who want to work their asses off, right? And do some of the things that none of us in here want to do, right? Yeah, bring in those guys, right? Unfortunately, you can't always tell the difference. And tariffs, are those going to impact, the projects that we're working on? Yeah, because where do a lot of our electronics that are in the dishwashers, refrigerators, microwaves, all these things come from? Other countries. Where does most of our wood for framing come from? Canada, right? Where does some of our sheetrock come from? China. So interesting. There's a project that the team's looking at right now that's in an office building, and as we're looking at it, I'm just doing some basic calculations. I'm like, you can't even build this building today for what they're selling it for. And we're going to have a lot of situations like that going forward, depending on in-migration and tariffs, et cetera. So these are real problems. So have these risks and other risks been considered? So one of our colleagues does a lot of infill development, and they get a lot of loans from a lot of local banks. And as they were just 2 weeks ago reviewing the loan, and they were doing a review of the budget analysis, they said, well, as a result of some of the deportation and some of the tariff risks, have you accounted for that? And they said, yes, we've increased our budget. Normally we do like a 15% expectation in terms of cost overrun, but we've increased it from 15% to 20%, and we can still make the numbers work. And the bank replied back to them, does it still work at 25%? Because that's how I want to see the analysis run on this one before I'm willing to give a loan. Right? So you guys might be negotiating with a seller, and it's like you're putting in these risks, and then the bank is, and he who has the gold makes the rules, right? So that may come back and cause you some issues later on as well.
Come meet us live and become a real estate investor with us. Make money, grow, and help the community as well. So this is what I love to do every day as a real estate investor. I love to connect with you throughout our social media, and I love to make money with you as well.